Hey everyone, welcome to another hot take. My name is Tony D. Smash like and subscribe, or better yet, buy my book Wokeistan, link in the comments. Found out about this article through Tim Pool, of course, who's always on the top of these things. The stars of Will and Grace hate Trump, and they're super woke, but they've taken it to another level. The article, this is in the Daily Mail, basically Deborah Messing, who is the woman there on the right, I don't know if you can see, she praised or retweeted a sign that said, "A black vote for Trump is a mental illness," which reminded me of a conversation I had at the Minds event. I was sitting with this Irish dude named Scott, and we were having lunch in between panels, and he was sitting with this guy whose name I didn't get. He was black, and I thought he was at the event too, because we were talking about politics, and it was, it wasn't getting heated, but we were like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And so he worked in as a mortgage guy, and he was at the casino. He wasn't at the event, and he talked about how Trump really helped his business. He doesn't think Trump, by the way, is going to be reelected, although he will vote for him. And then he talked about Trump derangement syndrome. Like I talk about Trump derangement syndrome sometimes because I try to talk to people who hate Trump, and man, you just can't talk to him. And he had the same thing. He said going to his church, they just freaked the hell out if you talk. It's not even that you're talking positively about Trump. You're just not talking negatively enough. Seems to be the general feeling. But now, Eric McCormick, who's the co-star of Will and Grace, he's so mad at Trump that there's going to be some fundraiser that's, I guess it's in LA somewhere, and he's demanding that he get the list of Trump supporters so he doesn't have to work with them in Hollywood. Newsflash, conservatives are already kind of quietly blacklisted in Hollywood anyway, which is why everybody out there is afraid to talk about their politics for this very reason. The fact, Eric, that you're coming out and openly stating that I'm not going to work with anyone who's a Trump supporter is kind of, well, it's, first off, it makes you incredibly intolerant, in my view. People have different political views. They may not agree with you. Just because somebody voted for Trump doesn't mean they have a mental illness, doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means they have a different political view than yours. If you truly believe, Eric, that the President of the United States is a white nationalist Nazi, well, there are plenty of other countries you can move to. Canada, and you could work in the film and movie industry there. They make films and movies. Now, you won't make as much money. You could work in the TV shows there. Again, you may not make as much money. You could just, I'm sure you have plenty of money. You could just take it all and move to Canada. It's pretty close to the United States. It's pretty similar in a lot of ways. You could move to Europe. You could move and live under a government that you feel is more woke, and that is your choice. If you truly feel that the president is Hitler, well, then I don't see what other choice you have, unless you're going to start an armed resistance of some kind. And good luck with that. I wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't condone that. I think that's silly. I think you're probably just posturing, and I think it's sad that you would try to destroy other people's careers over this. That you would encourage others to do this. I don't think you would really do this, Eric. I think you're just being woke and virtuous, and you're really just trying to get egg on other people to do your dirty work. I mean, you certainly have the money and the means, I would assume, to just, march over there and take everybody's name down and, you know, take video and hire private detectives. I'm sure you have, you know, plenty of money. I mean, you were on a hit sitcom, Will and Grace. You've got millions of dollars. I'm sure you could hire the people to do the work you supposedly want done. Now, you may upset some people. I mean, I'm sure, you know, the very rich studio heads, probably a few of them are conservative and Republican. So, you know, the sword cuts both ways, Eric. Will you be okay when a group of Republicans take over the studio you work at and decide, well, you know, we don't really want to work with you, Eric, because you're a liberal and you've said some naughty things about the president in the past, so we're going to have to let you go. Does that sound fair? Because typically, rich people have been conservative, especially obscenely rich people. Or they've been both, you know. They're so rich, they don't even really care about politics. They're just, you know, spending money at both parties to so to make sure they got a little influence with whoever wins. That's what the smart guys do with the big money. So, are you going to be okay when the wheel turns and they say, Eric, you know, you said some naughty things on Twitter and we don't like that. You went to the wrong fundraiser, Eric. We don't like that. We don't want to work with you anymore. Would you be okay if a director fired you from a job? Like, oh, I didn't realize, Eric, how liberal you were and outspoken. I mean, you know, I just want to work with certain people, Eric. I mean, you understand that, right? You know, it's easy to stand on top of the hill when everybody's bashing Trump and say, hey, let's get rid of those Trump supporters, because there's only a few of them in LA. But when it's turned around and you're in the minority, I have a feeling you're going to be very quiet, so you can work. So stop being woke, okay? It's fine to have a political opinion. It's fine not to like Trump, but attack his policies. Don't get on here and attack his supporters. That is the most cowardly thing you could possibly do. And again, you're not in the resistance. This isn't World War II. You're not a French resistance fighter. You're a rich, probably a millionaire actor who lives in Southern California, probably have an amazing life with tons of money, and you know, you can call up your agent and pick from whatever projects may be coming through. So let's just calm down and stop attacking people. I think this is really going to bite you in the ass down the road, because, you know, unlike the virtue signalers on Twitter, the conservatives, who are very quiet in Hollywood for obvious reasons, they're just going to see a guy like you and remember, that guy. Yeah, I don't want to work with him. Don't hire him. It'll be very quiet. You'll never know. You'll never even get past the gate. Okay? You'll never even get past the gate. Your picture will come across somebody's desk. Boom, right in the trash. Oh, how about Eric McCormick for this role? There's plenty of other guys. Plenty of other actors, Eric. Keep that in mind.